What's up? It is Mike Morano. Welcome to my new and revamped channel with my new podcast, Pro Wrestling Driven, with myself, Mike Morano. Now, I would have loved to have co-host or something like that, but I would reach out to people I knew, and they were just like, they were busy. I don't know if they were ready to commit. I don't know what it was about, but I am a huge pro wrestling fan, sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. Been that way since I was 3 years old. I'm extremely passionate about it, and quite honestly, I don't have any sources or anything like that, nor am I going to paraphrase or do other things that you see people on social media do and try to make it their own, and then all of a sudden they become this thing and they got this huge following because they're just reporting what other people said. I'm trying not to do that. I want to give my takes, but I do want to report a couple of business aspects of the business, and one of them being the merger between WWE and UFC, creating this new brand called TKO. Now, I believe Vince McMahon is highly, highly regarded by these people, and I do believe Vince McMahon, without a shadow of a doubt, there was never a question, and if there were any questions, there are no more questions. Vince McMahon is running the show in WWE creatively. I believe he is always been and is still looked at as the single most important force behind the scenes in all of WWE. I don't know how much input Triple H still has. Obviously, Nick Khan, a very big influence, and of course, Vince McMahon has got himself a sweet-ass deal after everything that went down last year. Vince comes through, just an amazing, amazing deal. The business has grown so much over the years. Speaking of the business, the one thing I do want to take that's not mine, it's not mine, I don't have sources. A report from Fightful today, Sean Ross Sapp, I guess you would call him the Adam Schefter of pro wrestling news. He's very reputable for most of the time, I assume, right? And he reported that Jade Cargill, AEW wrestler, is most likely leaving AEW and headed to WWE. I think this is brilliant by WWE. I think this is brilliant by Jade Cargill. I think Jade Cargill fits the WWE mold. She looks like a superstar. She's green like money, like she would always say. And quite frankly, I think they're going to be printing a lot of money with her in the WWE if all of this comes to fruition. Now, again, that was reported by Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful, and, we'll definitely see what happens with that. I would be very, very interested to see Jade Cargill. I can just imagine them getting her in their system and wrestling the WWE style, and I think she would pick up on that real quickly, and I think she would be a huge star. I don't think you sign Jade Cargill just to be, she's not going to NXT. She's going right to the top, in my opinion. She's a big money player, and I think mixing it up with stars like Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Bayley, Io Sky, Asuka, the list goes on and on and on and on. Dream matches galore. I think it would be great. The Bloodline storyline, has it gotten stale after SummerSlam? We got Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso. I'm out the Bloodline, I'm out SmackDown, and I'm out the WWE. Deuces, ooses. Until Cody Rhodes sent them to Raw. Cody had some type of stroke of power, like he said, back at the Payback Premium Live event, and now Jey Uso is a full-fledged member of Monday Night Raw. But not a lot of people are happy to say Jey Uso because of his ties to the Bloodline. One superstar in particular who's really pissed off to see Jey Uso, we're talking storyline here, guys, is the character Drew McIntyre, who has been done wrong by the Bloodline for so long. You think about all the opportunities McIntyre would have, especially going after Roman Reigns, but that damn Bloodline would always get involved, wouldn't it? Well, this particular scenario, I believe we're leaning more into a possible Drew McIntyre heel turn, and main event Jey Uso is going to continue to get that babyface push. While the other Uso, Jimmy Uso, on Friday Night SmackDown, is becoming this desperate character that's just way over the top. He's just begging to be back in this bloodline. I don't even know. We still have a bloodline. I mean, it's unbelievable. Roman Reigns has been off TV, and I think he's going to be off TV until we get very close to the Saudi Arabia show, which is on November 4th, which is a very important date in my own personal life. But be that as it may, we do wait to see the Tribal Chief return. I mean, this title reign has been historic, but again, you got to defend the title for us to hype up the title reign. So I think we're all leading. I think all roads lead to WrestleMania 40, where I'm very fortunate enough to be there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia. I think it's going to be special. I do believe Roman Reigns will defend the title on that night, on night 2, I should say, against the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, in a rematch. That is my prediction. I also believe the Usos, now that they're on separate brands, I think you have plenty of time to have them separated. And then at WrestleMania, have them clash. I mean, think about that. The brothers, the Usos, arguably the greatest tag team of all time. Twin brothers going against each other on the grand stage of WrestleMania. Now, to the flip side, I'm really enjoying a lot of things AEW's doing. One of them is obviously Better Than You Baby. I mean, AEW's had a lot of success. Besides all of the behind-the-scenes, backstage, politics, bullshit, dirt sheet, all the kind of stuff that, in my opinion, ruins the business. I think the dirt sheets and all this, it just ruins the business for the fans. I mean, it's interesting when dirt sheet writers get more over than some of the wrestlers, or the wrestlers who are in the position that a lot of these dirt sheet writers wish they can be in, for some reason have more influence and are looked at as like this all-power being. I mean, I just think it's utterly ridiculous. I want to go back to All In. And I want to go back to Jack Perry. And I think Jack Perry going into business for himself, that would be a quote within the wrestling business, right? Him basically screaming, "It's real glass," because he had a situation with CM Punk backstage at Collision. And, we're just making sure that, we say everything right, as we're making sure that, I guess when he went back there, they got into some type of argument. I guess CM Punk ended up choking him. I have no idea. Nobody was. I wasn't there. I don't know. I don't work there. But it was an amazing event at All In. CM Punk gets fired. The Chicago Faithful the week later at All Out, which, by the way, was an amazing pay-per-view that AEW put on. They always deliver, especially on pay-per-view. I really want to give a lot of props to Tony Khan for weathering that storm. And it was not an easy decision to fire CM Punk. However, when you think about it, AEW's loaded with amazing things going on, whether it's stories, the in-ring work, the character development on some of these people. I'm really enjoying the shit out of AEW. I'm going to be at AEW Grand Slam next week. Now, we're already 8 minutes into this podcast, and one thing I want to say about AEW Grand Slam is this. It's the third time they're going to Arthur Ashe Stadium, and I want to give AEW some credit, but I will say this. The first Grand Slam was absolutely amazing. It was over 20-something thousand people. It was packed. It was crazy. Omega and Danielson, that was just unbelievable. That was one of the greatest matches I've ever seen live. Grand Slam 2 last year, highlighted by the Grand Slam tournament to crown a new champion, where we saw Moxley defeat Danielson, both Blackpool Combat Club members. And we also saw the Acclaimed. And we also saw Saraya debut in AEW at Grand Slam last year. Well, this year at Grand Slam, this upcoming Wednesday, Saraya is going to defend the AEW Women's World Championship that she won in her home country of London, England, over there in the UK. Back at All In, she's going to be defending that title against her former friend, who I believe is one of the greatest characters in all of pro wrestling right now, Toni Storm. What is it? Chin up, tits out, and watch for the shoe. It's going to be very interesting this Wednesday in New York City. Well, you know what else is interesting on AEW television is Better Than You Baby. I mean, I got one of the shirts on right here. The kangaroo kick, everything with MJF and Adam Cole, whether it was that amazing storytelling match that they had to main event that pay-per-view All In, that was incredible. That the storyline of the summer, almost of the year, and all of wrestling, I'm really loving it. I honestly am very interested to see where they go with it. I mean, if I'm going to book this, I'm going to say MJF's going to stay a babyface. And he's going to go full-fledged face and this and that. And Adam Cole's going to turn on him. because that's just the way it's going. Speaking of characters in AEW, how do you not mention Roderick Strong? I mean, the work that this guy has done. We remember Roderick Strong from all kinds of different things. Of course with Ring of Honor, then of course with the Black and Gold NXT, and a little bit with NXT 2.0 when he was with Diamond Mine, the Creed brothers. But come on, the work that he's doing. Adam! I mean, it's crazy. It's hilarious. Every time this guy's on television, I'm going nuts. I absolutely love it. And then there's another guy in AEW. Prince Nana. This Ring of Honor veteran, Prince Nana, who's managing one of the greatest wrestlers right now in the ring, Swerve. Are you kidding me? Right now, that is one of the greatest acts in all of wrestling. He's gone viral with that damn dance. And every time he does it and he comes on TV, I'm doing it. Yeah, I swerve when I drive. Yeah, I swerve when I drive. Well, while we are on the topic of AEW, I was just wondering, are there any people with some fathers out there? Does anybody get the reference? Because Christian Cage, or as Nigel McGuinness calls him when he's on Collision, one of the funniest things I hear is, Christian Cage! These little nuances are unbelievable. Christian Cage is not the TNT champion. It's Luchasaurus. However, Christian Cage continues to carry the TNT championship and proclaim himself as the TNT champion. He's making this belt so meaningful, he said at the post-media scrum of All Out that sooner than later, this might even be called the TNT World Championship. Christian Cage is one of my favorite characters, always has been, and now even more so in AEW. I think he's really hitting his stride. It's so exciting to see Christian Cage in this role. Oh my God, one of the best things on television. I will say, hey, listen, give some credit right now where it's due. Nia Jax, we'll slip right back to the WWE real quick. She's back in WWE, right back into a main feud with Rhea Ripley. I think she really deserves it. I think time away for a lot of talent is always a good thing. I really do. I think time away, whether it's forced or whether it's their decision, whatever the case may be, I think time away gives talents a different perspective on life and the business in general. And I think it really helps them find themselves. And then I believe they can then become the best form of who they want to be as characters. And I think Nia Jax, I think we're just going to see the best of Nia Jax. I know a lot of people online, a lot of trolls out there, they say she's unsafe, this and that. Sure, there are instances where we can prove that, and I totally understand, and I've seen it firsthand. However, I will say I think she's still a big-time money star, and very interested to have her back, have her feuding with the Women's World Champion on Raw, Rhea Ripley, who needs opponents, especially believable ones, and you don't get much more believable than Nia Jax. So, another thing I wanted to do real quick, I'm going to be at Grand Slam, like I mentioned, this upcoming Wednesday, my third straight year we're at Arthur Ashe. I think this year the crowd is just, I gotta be honest, I don't even know. Did they even sell 7,000 tickets to it yet? Last year it was AEW's first $1 million gate. That's all we kept hearing about. The gate. Tony was screaming. The year before, over 20-something thousand seats, but seats looked like they were more affordable back then, especially last year. Now, this year for floor seats, for my wife and I think it was, I'm not going to divulge what floor seats were, but we are sitting near the stage, and they were quite expensive. And what I will say about AEW Grand Slam is I believe this year it's pretty stacked. I mean, MJF defending that world title against Samoa Joe. Saraya defends her women's world title against Toni Storm. You're also going to have La Sex Gods, Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara. I mean, they've been joined at the hip since the start of Dynamite, right, all those years ago. So, Inner Circle, Jericho Appreciation Society, and here we go. It all comes to a head. Very interested to see what happens with Jericho and Guevara. And there are other matches. We also have Moxley defending that AEW International title, which, by the way, Orange Cassidy, great title reign, fighting champion. Orange Cassidy, I don't care what anybody says. His style's very different, but I will say Orange Cassidy's one of the best wrestlers in the entire world. I'd be hard-pressed to say that he's not in my top 5. I'm sorry. The guy puts on great matches. He's a very unique character. He's very interesting to watch. The fans love him. He pushes a lot of merchandise. I mean, what more do you want out of somebody in this business? I mean, realistically, what more do you fucking want? So, I promised myself I wouldn't curse, and here I am cursing. Anyway, be that as it may, we have other things, I'm sure. Yeah, of course, Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli, title for title, that NJPW, New Japan Pro Wrestling Strong title that Eddie Kingston holds, taking on Claudio Castagnoli, his bitter rival, I'm going to get you, Claudio, I'm going to get you, and all this kind of stuff, and that's happening, and I do believe Eddie's going to get crowned in New York City as the new Ring of Honor World Champion, something that should have happened at the pay-per-view that I was at, Death Before Dishonor in Trenton, but Eddie was fulfilling his obligations in Japan, and Claudio had to face Pac. That was actually a very underrated pay-per-view. If you didn't have the chance to watch that, go back, order it on Bleacher Report. There you go. That's a cheap plug for you, Tony Khan. In the meantime, speaking of cheap plugs, I will segue to this. I want to do a giveaway. So I collect many things in the wrestling world, right? A whole bunch of things. One of the things I love to collect, I have every single set of AEW figures. I literally have every set. I can make multiple videos just showing you the figures I have, especially with AEW. I want to give away Series 7 Unmatched that comes with Pac. I have doubles of these. It comes with Penta, El Zero Miedo, Rey Fenix. I mean, look at the attire right there on Fenix, and can't really say I'm doing a bad job there. But on Penta, put those there. And guess what, guys? Guess what? You can also get Hook's first AEW figure. And they all come in the Defender cases. I'll ship them to you. Look at this. We got in the set. We haven't seen her, but I think she's on the way back. Thunder Rosa. Very excited. And I think a lot of you are going to want to get your hands on the LJN style version of this man. Not going to be a lot more of these out there. CM Punk, one of his very last AEW figures. So it is AEW Unmatched Series 7. Comes with the figure defenders, and all you have to do is get me to 20,000 subscribers. So right now we're just under 18,000. So just over 2,000 more subscribers, and I'm going to give them away to a lucky winner. I'm going to announce the winner in a video. We're going to do it live. It's going to be unbelievable, and I'm going to ship them out with no problem. Because I could do that. It's easy for me. That's easy money. Now, anyway, my name is Mike Morano. MIKEMORANO. However, this is PWD, which means this is the Pro Wrestling Driven Podcast. And I'm also going to try to get this thing on Spotify at some point. So if you're sick of looking at me and sick of looking at my wrestling buddies I got behind me, we'll get it for you in just the audio form. You can listen to it in your car, at work, wherever. Maybe you're in the bathroom doing something. Maybe you're in the shower doing something. Maybe you're throwing out the trash. Maybe you are trash. And if you are, you still have a chance to win these figures. But you also are going to have a chance to listen to my voice, because I'm not ever going to stop with this. This is fun. This is all fun. I love talking wrestling. I want to get some wrestling fans on the show, to be quite honest with you. And I really hope that I'm able to do that. If any of you ever want to do a collaboration with me, that would really be awesome. But the next time you do see this podcast, the next time you see this face, I will be live at AEW Grand Slam this Wednesday night. And by the time I record, and my wife helps me edit and all that kind of stuff, I'll have some type of vlog video for you in the coming days after that, but I'll keep you guys posted. In the meantime, guys, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and remember, I'm serious. Subscribe. I am sending these figures out the second I hit 20,000 subscribers. I am not kidding. Thank you guys so much for all the support over the years. This channel it's taken on a lot of different faces, right? I mean, I go to games, I go to Jet games, I go to Met games, I go to Knicks playoff games, I go everywhere. But my heart and soul is pro wrestling driven, right? Because we are driven by pro wrestling. Thanks so much, guys. Subscribe, thumbs up, all that kind of stuff. And remember one more thing. Nah, I don't got anything else to tell you. But it was fun talking with you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun. Let's do it again. And we will be doing it again. We're going to do it again and again and again and again. And remember, AEW Grand Slam this Wednesday. I'll be there. I'll do my best to get you guys the best footage I could. Let's see what happens. Everybody, be well. Thanks so much. God bless. Let's go. Subscribe.